So starting things off with Joey Bart, it was not the greatest year compared to what he did in 2024. He kind of had a slow season, and he kind of just kicked into gear in the final couple months. He had a 249 batting average, a 355 OBP, a 340 slugging, and a 696 OPS, along with his WRC plus of 101. This is only the two Pirates that were on the offense basically every day had an OPS or WRC plus that is over 100. So I think his defense might have been bad, but the fact that he is only one of two Pirates to have an OPS plus over 100, I know he only hit 4 home runs. I am going to put Joey Bart in the C tier. It was not a great year for Joey Bart, but I have to respect him being one of two Pirates on the entire offense having an OPS plus, well, of above 100. Next up, Henry Davis. This is going to be a sad one to talk about because Henry Davis, I regret to do this to him. I'm going to move this down a little bit really quick. I regret to do this to Henry Davis, but it was not a great year for Henry. It's F. Henry Davis had a lot more expectations than what he did this year. I know the power was a lot better than what we saw out of Joey Bart. Had the 7 home runs compared, but only 22 ribbies. And here was his slash line, and it was not a good hitting year for Davis. Hit 167, a 234 OBP, a 278 slugging, and an OPS of 512. His WRC plus was 41. Joey Bart was at a 101. Do the quick math. You can tell the difference was literally he just couldn't hit compared to Joey Bart. I know he had the power, and he also did have the glove over Joey Bart, one of the Pirates' best defenders, but I can't warrant defense putting him above F tier. Henry Davis has to be better. He's a 1-1 overall pick. I think this next year has to probably be the last chance for Henry Davis with the Pirates, and it's kind of sad to say. Moving on, Endy Rodriguez. He's another one just like Henry Davis where it's like it's going to be time to figure out what they are actually doing with Endy Rodriguez. Another year basically ended with injury. He hit 173 with a 246 OBP, a 250 slugging, and a 496 OPS. WRC plus in his 57 plate appearances of 38. I'm sorry to the Endy enjoyers. He's also going in F. A team that thought catching depth was going to be great. 2 catchers already in F tier. That is not the greatest start. Rafael Flores, who was brought in the David Bednar trade. Now, my thing with Rafael Flores is this. I was very intrigued with actually what he did in his short sample size. Only had 17 plate appearances. He hit 200, 273, 363, and a 635 OPS. He did only have a 76 WRC plus, but like I said, very small sample size. For now, I'm going to put him in the D tier just because we don't know too much about Rafael Flores. On this website I'm using, I can't really add another tier because I use this one because there was no ads on this one. So we're good for now. But I'm going to put Flores right now in D. I think he has potential to go to C, and with his bat looked as okay as it did in that short sample size, maybe he goes to B. And then we go to a former Pirate for a grand total of 9 plate appearances, Brett Sullivan. Brett Sullivan, I'm not even going to read his stats. He's F. He was just here for literally a day or two. Sorry, Brett Sullivan. F tier. Moving on to the infield. Let's go with Sung-Chae Chang. I want to say I'm a believer in Chang. It was not a great year. Even the minor leagues are putting him in F tier. Nothing really to add there. Cam Devaney, the only piece of the Adam Frazier trade. Devaney did not have a great start to his major league career. He's older. He 139, 184, 167, 351, a -5 WRC plus. For a guy that had a lot of pop in the minor leagues, he's going in F tier. As you can see, we have a theme so far. A lot of F. Adam Frazier. So Adam Frazier, of course, goes to the Royals in that Cam Devaney trade. He had 262 plate appearances. Like I said, we are still going to tier rank the guys who were traded away from the Pittsburgh Pirates. So Adam Frazier, we are going to do right now. He had 255, 318, a 336, and a 654 OPS. Had an 82 WRC plus. I think Adam Frazier was clutch at moments. Now, I don't know if I want to put him in C or D. I'm kind of conflicted. He had 3 home runs, 21 ribbies. He did a lot in a situation that he was not supposed to be playing a lot. If you remember, Nick Gonzalez got hurt, so that meant Adam Frazier had to step up to basically fill a role as a starting second baseman when Adam Frazier was supposed to be the backup utility man, second baseman, shortstop, wherever you want to put him, even in the outfield. I'm going to put Adam Frazier's in D. Now, I very close in putting him to C, but I'm going to put him at D for now, probably high D. I'm going to flip him and Flores because I think Frazier did good with what he was warranted, but I mean, it wasn't a great year for Adam Frazier, even with the Pirates. Moving on to Nick Gonzalez. Nick Gonzalez is a very debatable player for a lot of Pirates fans. I understand why. A lot of grounders. He started out very hot. He had 408 plate appearances. He ended up hitting 260, 299, 362, and an OPS of 661, and 82 WRC plus, the same as Adam Frazier. Had some poor defense. Also had some more clutch moments as well when it came to the home runs and the long ball. Of course, Nick Gonzalez he had 5 and 30 that is for RBIs, but he hit 5 home runs compared to what Adam Frazier did with 3. I'm going to put Nick Gonzalez in C. He's going to be in the middle of C tier. I'm only putting him ahead of Frazier just because he's still on the team, and he did play more than Frazier as well when he came back. Ke'Bryan Hayes. Man, this sucks. He's gone now. Ke'Bryan Hayes only hit 2 home runs, 36 ribbies on the Pirates, and his overall advanced metrics look a bit like this. Let's find him really quick. He is literally down the list when I hit going by WRC plus. He had a 57 on the Pirates, hit 236, 279, 290, 569. That's why he's gone. He just could not hit well. I'm not putting him in F. I'm going to put him in high D. Now, how about this guy? Spencer Horwitz, the best member of the offense this season, surprisingly brought in by Ben Cherington. So good on Ben for finally finding someone good on offense. Had a 119 WRC plus. You can't just ignore that. 11 home runs, 51 ribbies. Of course, his advanced slash line was a 272 average, a 353 OBP, 434 slugging, and a 787 OPS. I'm putting Spencer Horwitz. I'm sorry to the haters. He's going in A tier. Spencer Horwitz, I can't ignore the only guy on the team who was pushing a 120 WRC plus. I don't think that's fair of me. I mean, some people might put him in B. Some people might even put him in C because he doesn't have a lot of pop, but I'm going to be aggressive and put him in A. I think Horwitz had a year. I mean, if he wasn't hurt, maybe he hits almost 15 to 20 home runs. But I'm fine with what he did. I think he can add some pop. That's if anything. But yeah, Spencer Horwitz, I'm putting in A tier. So that's our first kind of positive one. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had another weird year, in my opinion. Started out a little hot. He was a hitting machine. They were batting him ninth, but then, yeah, he kind of rounded out a 264 average, a 300 OBP, a 332 slugging, and let me go to his advanced really quick. OPS of 632, a 75, that is, WRC plus. I was reading Flores for a second. Of course, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa does not have the pop. 1 home run, 35 ribbies. Did have 15 stolen bases, so he was doing that very well, running on the bases. His glove was You could see his arm come into play. That's where it has issues. IKF started out hot, kind of tailed off at the end of his Pirates tenure. I am going to put him in C just because he was a competent bat for a good time. Leover Peguero. This is another one where it's like, where am I supposed to put Leover Peguero? 88 plate appearances, of course, only batted 200, 273, 363, and a 635 OPS. 76 WRC plus, same as Flores, so I have to put him in D right next to Flores. Put him next to Frazier right there. I don't think Peguero was an F-tier player. He hit better than Henry Davis based off slash line this year. An interesting one we have here, Jared Triolo. Now, Jared Triolo ended the year very hot. And it's interestingly enough, Jared Triolo finished with the 6th best WRC plus on this team and 86, tied with O'Neal Cruz, who we will be ranking in just a little bit. A 227 average, 311 OBP, 356 slugging, and a 667 OPS. He's probably going to be the Pirates' Gold Glove winner. It's either him or Henry, in my opinion, for the team Gold Glove. But he is a Gold Glover. He did play very well post Ke'Bryan Hayes trade. Now, I can't forget what he did before that. He had to go to the minor leagues. He was basically borderline unplayable. It was bad. But I'll give Jared Triolo all the credit here. He figured out what he was doing, and he was able to get it figured out into the final 2 months of the season, even in September mainly. He was on fire. Now, where do I rank him? I'm going to put him in C. Actually, I'm going to try to put him in the top C. This website's very weird. But it's just he played good down the stretch. I have to reward that. I'm not the biggest believer in Jared Triolo, but I have to admit he did good when it mattered. I mean, the least. But he's looking like he's playing for a spot next year, and he did good with that. Remember this guy, Emmanuel Valdez. And it's funny here. Valdez was hurt in basically the first month of the year. He was the infamous lifted his hand requesting timeout, and then he got called out at third base. Of course, he was hitting fairly well. He only had 102 plate appearances, but he was batting 209, 294, 330, 363, that is, a 657 OPS, but he's ninth in the OPS department. He's tied with Nicky G and Adam Frazier. Valdez, hot take here. I think he's a guy I kind of want to see him bring back on the bench. I actually enjoyed watching Emmanuel Valdez, but my standards are very low when it comes to this team. I'm going to put him in D tier. Nick York, the final infielder I have. Nick York gets caught up a little late, had a very minor league season this year. I'm trying to find him really quick. Yeah, 72 plate appearances, batted 232, 264, 319, 583 OPS, a 59 WRC plus. I'm putting him in D tier just because I'm not expecting much out of Nick York. He started hitting towards the end of the year, last week or so. Good for him. I'm hoping nothing but the best for Nick York, but I just don't really see it. Ji-hwan Bae, this is easy. That's F tier. He was not that good. I only literally remember the play in Miami where he faked himself out trying to steal base. He batted 50. He had a batting average of 50, 240, a 50 slugging, and a OPS of 290, WRC plus somehow of 3. So Ji-hwan Bae's F tier. That's pretty simple. Alexander Canario, he lasted all year on the Pirates. I really don't know how only the Pirates would do this. He got on a hot streak once Shelton was fired, but then he came back down to earth. 234 plate appearances, batted 218, 274, 338, 611. Canario is D tier. I can respect the little bit of pop he had. I don't think he's F. He did strike out a lot, so maybe I might put him in F. You know what? Put him in F. Sorry, Canario. Moving on, we have Billy Cook. Billy Cook, he batted 3. He only had 6 plate appearances, and he got sent back down. I get he batted 333 in basically everything, 667 OPS. Cool. At 85 WRC plus, he was sent back down. He didn't do much this year. I can respect what he did in those 6 plate. D, I don't know. O'Neal Cruz, this is a tough one. O'Neal Cruz had a great first month and a half, 2 months, and then he just fell off a cliff. Batted 200, 298, 378, 676 OPS, 86 WRC plus. That is not acceptable. He had the same WRC plus as Jared Triolo. I am a huge I'm a huge O'Neal Cruz fan. As you can see the jersey behind me, but I have to be realistic here and reward based off what we expected and what he gave us. Now, he did give us some cool moments. Also had some fluke moments with the fielding as well. But O'Neal Cruz, he did hit 20 home runs, 38 stolen bases, was close to a 2040 season. He did go 2030. That's cool. The strikeout rate has to go down, 32%. I'm putting O'Neal Cruz in D tier. I can't put him in F. I can't put the only dude on the team that's capable of hitting a home run in F tier. I'm going to put him in the middle of D tier. It was just bad. I'll just put him in. I'm not even going to reorder, but it was bad for O'Neal Cruz. Matt Gorski. Remember when he got called up? Now, he, of course, got DFA. I think was picked up by the Angels. It was not good. He hit a home run. I think it wasn't his first at-bat. It basically hit 2 of them. Batted 195, blah, 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 blah. Matt Gorski, sadly, F. He didn't really do much. We're going to put him behind Bay. Andrew McCutchen. Andrew McCutchen right over here. He, of course, was Kutch. He was solid. I don't really have much else to add about Kutch. Batted 551 plate appearances, even made some appearances in the outfield. Batted 239, 333, 367, 700 OPS, had a 95 WRC plus. I'm going to put Andrew McCutchen just because he just stuck it out. I want to put him in B just so he can kind of get that category going. But if I put him in B, I'm going to have to put some others in B. Let's put Kutch in C. Very top of C, actually. I want to change this up a little bit. I know I didn't really mean to do that. But we're going to put Kutch for now. You know what? B tier. Kutch might be ending up in low B, but let's put Kutch in B for now. Tommy Pham, this is another envious one. Tommy Pham started out awful. I think we can all agree with that one. It was like everyone was chanting DFA, boo, blah, 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 get rid of it. It was literally the Rowdy Telez arc. Once he got his contacts fixed, he became a better hitter. He managed to save his season, batted 245, 330, 370, 700 OPS, had an OPS plus of 94. He did kind of tail off at the end as well. Now, I did just put McCutchen in B. I'm going to put Pham in literally the high C tier. I'm going to try to I know I said I wasn't going to reorder this, but I guess I am. I'm just to show. I'm putting Pham in high C. He did save his season. I think we can agree on this one. Brian Reynolds. He had a horrible year for Brian Reynolds standards. He batted 245, 318, 402, 720, 99 WRC plus. He was a below, like, around league average, but basically below league average hitter. Of course, the home runs, kind of where he usually, like, you don't want to see. He only had 16. He's usually in the 20s. 73 ribbies. I'm putting Brian Reynolds. He did basically save his season at the end. I'm going to put Reynolds in C. He needed to be better. Him and Cruz basically are the two guys this offense relied a lot on. Ronnie Simon, remember him? He's now in the minor. I don't think he got DFA. He was just sent back to the minor leagues. Only had 8 games. That's it. 32 plate appearances, batted 233. Nothing really much to add about Ronnie Simon. I mean, he committed like 4 errors in 1 inning, I think it was, 4 errors in 1 game with the Marlins. Then they got rid of him. Ronnie Simon, he didn't really do much. I guess F. I'm not really moved by Ronnie Simon and what he's done for the Pirates. Nick Solak was. How could I forget Nick Solak? Sorry, I'm putting him in F. He didn't add anything to this team. Jack Sawinski, F. He did not have a great year. I don't really have to deep dive. He hit 147. So that's the offense. As we look at it really quick, I know I have it kind of zoomed in on my screen right now. So we have Horwitz. I put in A. That might be aggressive for a lot of people, but A. Kutch B. Good group at C. D does consist of some guys. It's like, he could have been better. And then F. The no names. Moving on, we have the starting pitchers. So we're going to do the starters and then the relievers. Starting things out with Braxton Ashcraft. Great rookie season. He put up on Fangraphs at 1.6 WAR. Had, of course, Ks per 9, 9.17. Put up a solid ERA of a 2.71 in his rookie season. I'm going to reward Braxton Ashcraft. I mean, he only did start 8 games, but he looked really good his rookie season. I have to reward him with an aggressive A tier. I really liked what I saw out of Braxton Ashcraft this season. I'm a big fan of what he did, and I can respect it. Moving on, Hunter Barco didn't really do much in the majors. He had a solid minor league career before this. I'm going to put Barco just in the D tier because we don't know what he is in the major leagues yet. I could put him in C just because what he did in the minors, but we don't know really anything. He only pitched like 1 or 2 games. But yeah, Hunter Barco, let me see if I actually find what he's listed as here very quick. Let's see if we can find Barco. Yeah, he only pitched he has a win, pitched total of 3 innings. That's why we're putting him down there. That's what I think I'm going to do with a lot of these relievers who made like 1 stint. Mike Burrows, another guy like Ashcraft that I think had a great year. He, of course, finished with an ERA of 3.94. Not the greatest for Burrows. 96 innings, 19 starts. He had a little bit more. He kind of started out rocky. It's kind of mid what Burrows you get. I'm going to put him in C. I don't think Burrows is that bad. Bubba Chandler had a great stint in his rookie. He had the 1 bad start against the Brewers. Ended up 4-1. Of course, had that crazy save against the Rockies. 31 1/3. He had a 4.02 ERA. Of course, that is inflated about what happened with the Brewers. I am pretty sure. Had an 8.9 Ks per 9. Didn't walk too much. 1.15. So he also put up a 0.9 WAR in that very short of a sample size. I'm going to put Bubba, honestly, very aggressively. He was also fun to watch. I'm going to put Bubba Chandler in B. That's very aggressive. If he pitched as much as Ashcraft, maybe he goes up to A. I know Bubba had a great mini season with the Indianapolis Indians. I know he had a struggling little bit of summer months. I'm going to put Bubba in B. I have to. He looked really good down the stretch. Bailey Falter. So he hasn't been the greatest on the Royals. Of course, Bailey Falter had that crazy month with the Pirates. 3.73 ERA, of course, 1.75. I could care less about records. 5.56 Ks per 9, 3.10 walks per 9. Bailey Falter, I can respect what he did for the Pirates. I'm kind of upset they traded him. He was an innings eater, and he was always usually competent on the mound. I'm going to put Bailey Falter in C tier. Moving on, we're going to Thomas Harrington. I was really disappointed by what they got out of Thomas Harrington. He put up an ERA of 15.58 across 1 start in 3 games. I had to put Harrington in the I didn't see too much category because he did not also have the greatest year in the minor leagues. So we're putting Harrington in D. Andrew Heaney. So Andrew Heaney really was good when they brought him in, and then he just kind of fell apart completely for him. It was not good going into the trade deadline. That's why they couldn't get rid of him. A 5.39 ERA, 5-10 record, 120 and a third innings pitched with the Pirates. I'm putting him in D. It was good at the start, not good at the end. I'm not putting him in F. I don't think he was complete garbage. I have to respect what he did at the start of the year, but that's probably part of the reason they couldn't trade him. Mitch Keller, of course, a 4.19 ERA, kind of had that second half kind of fall off, but I don't think it was as bad as what we've usually seen. He's been resilient. He's been relying on for literally every single member of this pitching staff. He will eat the innings. 176 and a third, the second most out of any starter this season besides Paul Skeens, Andrew Heaney, and Bailey Falter. Mitch Keller, I don't want to put in C, but people will probably be mad I put him in C. But you know what? People are going to be mad I'm putting him in B. I'm putting him in B. I don't care. I have to respect what he did, especially in the first half. Moving on, Carmen Mlodzinski, man, this guy frustrated me, especially when he wanted to be a starter. That's why I'm putting him in this. Ended up with a 3.55 ERA. I'm going to put Mlodzinski in C. He won me over. I hope he does better. He needs to be a bullpen guy. Johan Oviedo comes back from injury. He's looked solid. I wasn't really too concerned with what we saw. He looked like that one game, I think it was against the Cubs. Started out horribly, then he just managed to eat a bunch of innings. Pitched only 40 and a third, 3.57 ERA. I really liked what Oviedo did. I'm going to put him in C as well. I think he could end up going to B very soon. Skeens, S tier. What else is there to add about Paul Skeens? He's going to win the Cy Young. I don't have to explain what he did. A 1.97 ERA. He is the best member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, we are almost done. Moving on to the relievers now. So the bullpen. This is going to be interesting because we have a couple guys that were traded that I am actually going to put up really high. David Bednar, 2.37 ERA is up first. Of course, he is sadly, and I mean sadly, on the New York Yankees, and it's very upsetting. Now, he started out very bad. Had 17 saves, 3 holds this year, only pitched in 38 innings. Bednar was sent down to AAA, and then once he came back after the first couple weeks when he was sent down, he was dominant. I'm putting Bednar in A. He was a great reliever to have out of that bullpen, and I'm going to miss what David Bednar did. Ryan Borucki, on the other hand, man, he started out solid, but then it kind of just fell apart for him. He put up a 5.28 ERA. I'm putting Borucki in lowest of D tier. I'm not putting him in garbage because he was you could call upon him, but other than that, it was eh. Genesis Cabrera. I didn't think you were going to have to watch me rank Genesis Cabrera, but here we are. I'm trying to find him really quick. He put up a 4.91 across 9 total games pitched for the Pirates, and then he was, of course, gotten rid of. I'm putting him in D tier. We didn't see much out of Genesis Cabrera. I'm about to rank Michael Darrell Hicks. We are going to put him. He only pitched in 1 game, then he was forgot about 2 innings. D tier, I guess. D tier is also the categories I did not see that much. Caleb Ferguson with the Pirates. Let's see here very briefly. He, of course, put up a 374. Was solid out of the pen, in my opinion. I actually liked Caleb Ferguson a lot. He, of course, went to the Seattle Mariners. I'm putting him in C. I think he was a solid bullpen pickup. Colin Holderman. This was a horrible year for Holderman. He never figured it out. We're going to F tier. Ji-hwan Bae still last. So, Holderman, looking at his overall stats, a 7.01 ERA. I have to put him in F tier. I think he's done. Now, this is going to be the hot take of this video. I am a huge believer in what Justin Lawrence did. Justin Lawrence was my favorite, by far the best pickup that the Pirates, I think, made this offseason that was under the radar. The Rockies just gave him up. He was not good in Colorado, but look at where he's pitching. Colorado, Coors Field. It's a place pitchers do not want to be. He was dominant out of the bullpen. He looked like a guy that if Dennis Santana starts to struggle, you could eventually maybe give him the ball at the end of the games. I don't think that's the case, but maybe. Justin Lawrence is. He, of course, got hurt, which sucked. He went 1-0, had a .51 ERA across 35 games, 17 games that is pitched, 17 and 2/3 innings. You know what? I'm putting him in A. I love Justin Lawrence. I loved what he did. I think he was very underrated. I think he was very undervalued as well for the Pirates. I think he was really good. Now, you could say just put him in B because he wasn't here all year, but I'm putting him in A for what we saw out of Justin Lawrence, especially the rebound after what he did last year. I hope he can continue it. Moving on, Isaac Mattson, another fun one in my opinion. The Pitt Panther himself. Isaac Mattson just pounded the fastball. Finished with a 2.45 ERA across 47 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's a guy, it's like, this should not work, but it somehow worked. He pitched in 44 games, and this is a guy, it's like, oh yeah, he could be sent back down the minor leagues, see what happens. No, he pitched really good. I'm putting him in A tier as well. I really liked what Isaac Mattson did. Who knew this bullpen is basically filling out the A tier. Moving on, Tim Meza, yeah, he was hurt all the time. Unlike what we saw from Lawrence, Meza, when he pitched, he did have a 289, only pitched in 7 games, but unlike Lawrence, I'm going to put him in D just because we didn't see him much, and now he's not even on the team. Dari Moreta, another guy that was hurt a lot. He did come back a 3.24 ERA across 18 games. He did have some rocky moments down the stretch. I'm going to put Moreta in C. Moving on to Kyle Nicholas. Kyle Nicholas, another guy just like Moreta, had a lot of rocky moments. A 4.74 ERA, kind of got hot towards the end of it. 38 innings pitched. I'm going to put Kyle Nicholas in C. I'm not going to re-rank C. Forget about that. Tanner Rainey, I guess F. He did not have a great outing. I'm going to fix this really quick. Change Ji-Hwan Bae, of course. Tanner Rainey, 10.57 ERA in 11 games. Yeah, he's F tier. Yohan Ramirez. We saw a lot of him going down the stretch towards the end of the season, and you know what? I don't think he was horrible. He had a 5.4 ERA. I'll put him in D, but he was able to eat some innings down the stretch, so I at least can respect that. Moving on to Cam Sanders. He was called up straight from Double-A Altoona. Pitched in 6 games, put up an 8.10 ERA, 6 and 2/3 innings. We're putting that in D. He didn't perform well in the major leagues. Dennis Santana, he took over basically after Bednar left, a 2.18 ERA, 70 and 1/3 innings pitched, 16 saves. Of course, he blew that game in Colorado, but I could forget about that. He was an A tier. He was really good. The Pirates had 2 good closers. They got, of course, rid of one of them. Chase Sugar, another guy just like Emmanuel Valdez, who was kind of like one of those pickups were like, oh, yeah, here we go again. He was actually pretty good. 3.4 ERA, 45 innings, of course, as well. Had injury issues. I'm going to put him in C. I actually kind of enjoyed Chase Sugar pitching. I think he's going to be a pretty okay piece out of that bullpen next year. So Evan Sisk is up next. A brief piece of the Bailey Falter trade. A 4.38 ERA with the Pirates across 14 games. I know he went to AAA, then came up, then went back down, then came back up. I'll put him in D. I didn't see much out of him I really liked. Who knows, though. Hunter Stratton, they brought him back, and then he left again. They basically got rid of him 3 games, put up a 23.63 ERA. He just played him in Atlanta. It was not a great year for him, but I'll put him in D just because he didn't pitch enough. And then finally, Joey Wentz pitched in 19 games. I bet you forget he was even on the team because I honestly did. Whenever I saw this name every Pirate quiz, then we played the Braves and then he's there. Joey Wentz put up a 4.15 ERA across 26 innings, 19 games. I'll put him in D as well. There you have it. There is the entire tier list. So going up here, there's the mainstays. Paul Skeens, Easy S, my A tier. Spencer Horwitz, Braxton Ashcraft, David Bednar, Justin Lawrence. That might be a surprise to a lot of people. Isaac Mattson, I thought was great, and Dennis Santana. B tier, Andrew McCutchen, Bubba Chandler, Mitch Keller. That Mitch Keller might be like, oh, you might put him in C. I'm putting him in B personally. And then the mainstays of the C tier, the key ones. Tommy Pham, Jared Trillo, IKF, Nikki G, Joey Bart, Brian Reynolds, Mike Burrows, Bailey Falter, Carmen Majinski, Johan Oviedo, Caleb Ferguson, Madari Moreta, Kyle Nicholas, and of course, Chase Sugar. But yeah, that's basically it. O'Neal Cruz, D tier. I know Reynolds also had a slow start, but he was able to recoup it. O'Neal Cruz, I wish I could put in C. I understand he hit the home runs and the stolen bases. It was not a good year for O'Neal Cruz. I think we can all admit that. We need better out of O'Neal Cruz. Well, there you have it. There's the tier list in my honest opinion. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to comment down below what you would change. Thank you for watching this. I'm pretty sure after I'm editing this, it's either in parts or all together. So who knows? Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. And hopefully the Pirates do stuff this offseason to make this tier list a lot better than it was this year.